Hey, what's up guys? My name is Daryl Phillips, owner of Noir Apologia Gaming. Today we're going to do a tutorial on how I just did that intro. First we're starting with a text, so that's what we're going to do today. And this is basically a 6-episode arc in which I'm going to show you how to do everything in that intro, because there's a lot of effects in there. So, with that being said, like, subscribe, share, follow. Hit that bell for notifications so you can get updated whenever I put new content up. Go to bipolarize.net. If you want to do more, there's a donate button on there. It's a work in progress, like I am, like we all are. So what you want to do is you want to open up a new project. Now, I already have one set up for this particular tutorial, but you want to go on there, new project. So it's 1920 by 1080 pixels, 60 frames per second. And I named it logo intro. So just name it and do and however long you need to do it. This is going to be 3 minutes long. It's actually going to be shorter than that, but it's 3 minutes long. So I've already got some stuff in here. Everything's set up so that all I have to do is add the effects. Now, first thing we're going to do is do come out of the fog. So basically, I have it where the scale is at 100% at 1 second. Okay? And it's at 0 seconds. Same thing with the opacity. It's at 100% and then at 0%. Now, as time goes by, as it gets bigger to about 114% at 917. That's where I want the other words to come in. So at 917, the other words are going to start coming in at 917, and then this increases to 800% as it'd be 1017. So at 800%, and then of course the opacity is 0. Now, the reason why that's important is because that's kind of like going to be like a transition, but it's not a normal. It's the way I'm doing it is it's not a normal transition. Now, we're going to add a little flavor to this. Well, first of all, this particular layer we're going to turn gray because we're going to use the blue in a second. We got something special for that. All right, so we do gray. Come out of the fog. Gray. I have some colors already that I use a lot, so I just pasted them in my notepad. So anyway, so it's gray, okay, and now you see it, right? Now at 3 seconds, which is where the sound basically comes in, okay, I want it to come out of the fog. You get what I mean? We're going to add time. We want CC4 motion blur on here. That will blur it with any motion I do, okay? And then also, I really want to sell this, so I want to go to Gaussian blur, and I want to go to 1 second. I want this to be marked at 0, so you push the stopwatch. All right, make sure we have this down here. And any of these keys, they look like this because you can push F9 for easy ease, and what it is basically it makes it look smoother. It figures out what it looks like to be smooth. Okay, so at 0 we go 100. Okay, easy ease, circle them, F9. Okay, there you go. Mark it again. That's 0%, and then 1017. That's where we want it to come out. Keep going too far. Okay, 100. Okay, now let's see what that looks like. Okay, so that's the gray. All right, now also something else I've just remembered. I also want this at 50% opacity at 3 seconds because this is just to lead in and to help sell the fact that it's coming out of the fog. Okay, so you're trying to sell that effect. So what we want to do is we want to go down to there, and we want to go down to mark that at 100% opacity. And then at 4 seconds, we want to go to 50%, which means I got to go over here and change this value over here. So you can change any of these values, just make sure you're over the mark. And you can go backwards and forwards on the timeline by page up and page down. The reason why that's important, the glow that I'm about to do, well, I want it to come in there. It's kind of like where it's literally coming out of the fog. And actually, we kind of want to change it again, really. I actually want this at, now think on it, I want this at 430. was a little bit longer than normal. I normally do 1 second transitions, but we're going to do this right there, I think. Okay, a little bit farther. See, I make mistakes too. All right. Okay, so that's where I want that to come in. I want a little bit longer transition for this. So we want to duplicate this layer, edit, duplicate, right? And we want this to come in, so the opacity's got to be different, not this other stuff. 100% opacity, 917, 100% opacity. Now we're going to change the color. We're going to do the glow effect. Now, because I want this to look like it's coming out, but then it gets glowy. Glowy. Yeah, that's not a word. I know. It's not a word, Daryl. Yes, I know. I'm weird. Okay. I'm just a little off. All right. So we want to go effect, perspective, drop shadow. Get that color in there. Oh, well, let's go ahead and change the color on the outside of here too. Change the color on the outside. I want this black. 41% opacity, 0 distance, 20 softness. Duplicate this. This is going to be 80 softness. Okay. Now we're going to add the glow. Glow. We want to change the color. Remember that the shadow is the most important thing. That is going to be your glow color. So sawtooth B greater than A. Change it from original colors to A&B colors, and 2.6 as the glow intensity. And we're going to duplicate this and change some things. 150% glow radius, 75% threshold. See how glowy it looks? Yes, I know. I got it. It's not a word. Glow. Don't change anything to this one. Okay? That's your glow effect. All right? Now I add a drop shadow to this to make it more effective because I like the way it looks. Just it's a personal preference. You can do anything you want. That's the point. So let's see what this looks like. That is not what it's, oh, that's probably why. I need to shorten this to 3 seconds. I need to shorten this. That is weird, right? Why is that doing that? Oh my God, I forgot to put this to 0. That's why. See, mistakes can be made. It's okay. 0. Just fix them. You know what I mean? Now let's look at it. Okay, see what I'm saying? Okay, and that's going to go really, really well with the fog that we actually create a couple weeks from now. All right, so that's that word. So we're outside doing video and so forth and so on, and the reason why I'm cutting to these is because you guys got to understand. When you're working, I don't care if you're normal or whether you have bipolar disorder or some mental disorder like I have. The thing is, you have to stop. You have to stop and look around. Okay, you have to stop and get away from your work for a second and think, so you can reevaluate things. Blah 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 blah. And that way, when you get back, you're refreshed. For one thing. For number two, and most importantly, you already kind of know. Okay, well, I can do this, and you figure something out. Sometimes what happens is, with everyone does this. Okay, this has nothing to do with mental disorder. Everyone sits there and they get into their work, and then they start to get frustrated, and so forth and so on. Well, for one thing, I work in front of a screen, so my eyeballs need rest. That's a fact. It causes migraines. If you look at it for too long, you have to rest. But even if you don't have that kind of job, like when you're looking at a screen or whatever, let's say you work a job and they have a 5-minute break. Take that 5 minutes and think about what you're doing. The whole point of the ingredients and the steps is you're thinking about your life, right? This is how I do it. I go for a walk, I take pictures, so forth and so on, and I do what I have to do to make sure my mind is right so I can go back to work and be good at it and be refreshed. Because sometimes we start to get obsessed by the little things because all of a sudden, this ain't working right. This other thing ain't working right. Well, look, I'm underneath the bridge right now. We're by Barlow Creek. I've got my significant other behind the camera, who will not be speaking, I guess. She helps me, you know, and you can't do things by yourself. Now I can take pictures by myself, but it's better if you have somebody to evaluate. Okay, why don't you do this a little different? That way they can throw an idea in your head. See what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna go back to the tutorial. All right, let's go. So now at 9:17, as this is going out, we want a bipolar perspective to come in. Okay, so 9:17. All right, I'm going to do the same glow effect. 10:17. Be nice if I got it right the first time. 10:17. Thank you. Okay. We want the transform. We want opacity be 100%. And 9:17. We want this to be 0. Easy ease. F9. And also at 10:17. Go over here. We want these sides to be at 100% scale. And 9:17. 0%. Okay. Let's use this. And at 16:08, that is where the glitch effect is going to come in. That's also where this is going to start to go out. Okay. See how this works? Everything is a layer, right? Okay, so we're going to do this up to 112, I do believe. Okay. And then, so it's going to slowly get bigger. And then at 800% at 1633. So 1633 is the end of the glitch effect. And that is going to be at 800%. All right. So I guess we didn't have to start from there. Start from here. Okay. So let's add the glow effect. I'll do this fast. Glow effect's in there. Now, this glow effect, I want to flicker. So at 10:17, we're going to add a flicker. First, we're going to add some motion to this. Because, like I said, I'm trying to sell this to you. I'm trying to sell that this is moving, you know? All right, and we're going to do this before we duplicate so that we have it on the other layer as well. All right, and we're going to add a Gaussian blur again. Okay, 10:17, so Gaussian blur goes starts, that's 0. 9:17, that's 100. And we're going to go ahead, I'll go ahead and easy ease that too. Sounds like I'm saying easy E, right? All right, 16:08. Mark that down, 1633. I'm going to take this effect here. Boop. We're going to duplicate it. Take all these, because that's going to be your top layer now. Okay, I'm going to take this, remove all of the color and stuff out of this. Because we don't need the glow effect in here, because that's not what it's for. All right, backspace. I'm going to change the color to gray. Go back to the top layer. I'm going to animate this. So let's go back to 10:17. That's where we want it to start. Going to animate this right here. All right. Animate it. Add opacity. Turn opacity to 0. See, we can't see anything. Well, just wait. Okay. I'm going to mark this here, offset right here, 100%. And then you're going to create some values, which I will go through very, very quickly, so you guys don't get bored. So you're going to create some values. So let me just give you an example. 10:17. I go by 30-second increments, or half a second increments. Really, it's a quarter of a second. It's going to be in total because it's going to be 0. But half a second. So 10:17, 30 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 25. I'm going to do this 25%, 25. Okay. And then we're going to go back, actually. I'll just show you this real quick. We're going to go back 15 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. But this is 0. Now I'll do the rest fast. Okay. Now I got some values in here. Really, I don't have all my values. I guess I'll do 30 seconds there. I guess we're going to have to move this back like by a few seconds, or by half a second. Okay, so that was a mistake. So let's move these back real quick because that's not what I meant to do. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice thing is you can move it all the way back, so it's not that big of a deal. Make sure it's there though. All right. So, okay, now that's not a very good effect, is it? It just looks like it's going back and forth. Well, so you can turn on and off different effects if you want to actually see if it's bothering you or whatever. So let's go back to 917 or 1017, excuse me. And what we're going to do is let's make this even more advanced than it already is. All right, so we got the setup for here. So go to advanced, turn on random order. You're going to type in, you're going to alt click. So alt click. And you're going to type in wiggle 130. And what it's going to do is it's going to set up a bunch of random flickers. Boop, 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 boop. Isn't that cool? Okay. So let's see here. See. Looks pretty cool, right? All right. So that's the flicker effect that sells the idea of that there's a neon sign kind of. Okay. Now you can do all sorts of things. You can duplicate it and create a reflector. We're not doing that for this particular one. I'll show you something like that later. So let's turn back on the force motion blur. Let's go to the next thing. We're out here getting camera work, so she's in there grabbing a soda for us. That's kind of what I do, trying to get the traffic and stuff. See, the thing is about B-roll is it's a great way for you to think about what you're doing. Stuff. Just getting pictures of. Maybe you're not a photographer or whatever, but it doesn't matter because you're taking a break and so forth and so on. So we just added the effects on that, and what we're going to do is we're going to finish it up, be done with the tutorial, and you guys will have a little bit more knowledge about how I do things. So let's go finish this up and add the sexy effects. Come on. So my life will be starting. My life. It started. Okay. What we're going to do here is a little bit different. First of all, we need to change the color to purple. I'll change this to purple. Dude, purple. Copy. Paste on the outside. Whoops. Let's get this in here, actually. Paste. And then we're not going to have a fill for this one. I have a reason why. Okay. So it's invisible in the middle. Okay. Now, we want this, because it comes in at 1633, right? We want this to be written in cursive because it looks nice like that. So on this, we're going to do something a little different. Well, first of all, we need to go ahead and animate, do the transform stuff so we have this ready for this, okay? So at 1733, which is 1 second after it starts, we want to put this opacity 100%, 1633. Wow. You can't be so wrong with that. Anyway, 0%. Easy ease. F9. And then here we want scale to be 0%. 0 scale. And then 1733. 1733, we want it scale to be 100%. Okay. Easy. Oh, whoops. If I'm going to turn that on. Okay. Okay. So same thing as the other ones. This is not different. Okay. So I'll do this faster. Okay. Okay. Now we have the glow effect and the flicker effect. Hope that wasn't too long for you guys. 1733, right? Okay. So we're going to try to do this. It's always a little complicated, but it is what it is, right? So we want to create shapes from text. And that immediately turns that off. So then we want to take this, animate this. Trim pass. We want this to end here. So 1633 is where it begins. 1733 is where it ends. Zero. I think I'm going to change some values that we already have up there, because I don't want it to be like where you can't see it, right? So we want this individually as well. So see how this works. So it's going to look a little like this. Oh, but the one thing, erase all the effects, get rid of all the effects that glow, because this is not what this layer is for. All right. So we get rid of all those layers. Backspace. Okay. And I wanted this to be turned off for a second so we can see what's going on. All right. Yeah, I might have to change that value there, because I don't like the fact that you can't see it. So let's change the beginning value here. Just the opacity. Okay. So we want to go to basically, let's say 50%. Okay, that should work. And we'll do the same thing on the other one. All right. So we're going to turn this back on. 50% opacity. All right. What we want to do, okay, is we want to go to track matte and track this way. Okay, now the gray needs to be connected as well. All right, because the gray shouldn't have any. I forgot the gray shouldn't have any middle. Actually, cancel. No middle for gray. Okay, there we go. All right, so we should have that as for my life outlines too. There we go. That's good. Good enough. All right. Like I said, I'm still fairly new to this, so I'm still working on it and trying to improve my little graphic stuff like this. Okay, but this looks good. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it's dark like that though. Anyway, why does it seem like it's darker than the other ones? It's because there's no middle in it. Maybe we'll have black. Whatever. Maybe we ought to have black in here because I think it's too thin writing. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. It just seems like it's not as bright, this writing. I might not even use this writing. This writing's a little too thin. That should help. Oh, there we go. Huh. I didn't have the pixels right. See what I'm saying? I make mistakes still. But that looks way better. Okay. Now I think we can do the no middle thing. It didn't look right. That looks better. And that doesn't need a middle. That looks better. There we go. Okay. So that's the end of what we're doing today. This is the words. Okay. Let's I'll show you how to render this out real quick. So what we're gonna do is, because I'm gonna render this out, and we'll see you next week. So what we're gonna do, I'll show you how to real quickly render this out. So go to composition. All right. Go to composition. Go to add to render queue. We want this lossless, so you can use it for anything. And we go there, and we change this to ABI is fine. We want AGB plus alpha. The alpha is the transparent layer, so that's what we want. Okay, and make sure you had the file that where you want it to go. Episode 1. There you go. Save that, and now you just push render. All of you guys stay safe. Be understanding of one another. Remember, life is fleeting. It really is. And whether you're doing videos like I am, or whether you just simply just want to improve your life, carry your ingredients, follow your steps. The links are down below to watch those videos. And may the Lord of Light guide you in all things. Goodbye.